The Kindest Channel is back on the docket. Today, a wild shift. 7 animals sold to you on a beautiful legend. The numbers are real, the legends are lies, and the disappointment is served with no side dish. Do not expect acquittals. I'm not in the mood, and I will not lecture you at the end. That is not why I called you here. The studio is insured and the intern signed the waiver, so relax. Buckle up. First up, that bird I scared you with last time, and for nothing.
Raven, opening the case file.
For centuries, they filed it under bad omen. The real bad omen is that it is smarter than half the people you know. Lives up to 40 years in captivity, and the whole time it remembers the face of everyone who ever wronged it. 5 years later, it picks you out of a crowd, and settles the tab, with interest. It stashes a tool for tomorrow. It has a plan for the week. Your plan is the gym you have not walked into since January. Dangerous to you in exactly nothing, except that next to it, you look small.
Scene. The staring match.
I asked the Raven to look away from the camera. The Raven stared back at me instead, in silence. It reads my daily routine closer than my boss managed in a year. 20 seconds, no blink, drawing conclusions. And by the look on its face, not flattering ones. This is not an interview, but somehow I am the candidate, and I am failing it. Whoever looks away first is the loser. For the record, the loser was the host. The birds never laid a feather on me. It just let me feel it.
Verdict of the Kindest Channel.
Fred, 2 out of 10. Cannot kill you, only outplay you, which you do to yourself for free. Bad omen was a label for people ashamed to lose to a bird. Acquitted. Next, the shared loner.
Wolf. The file.
Lone wolf. A great t-shirt and complete nonsense. A pack is dad, mom, and the kids who still have not moved out. A wolf goes solo only when it gets kicked out. That is not pride, that is a housing problem. It hunts as a team, splits the kill by rank, and does not touch a human without real need. The rebel on your t-shirt eats Sunday dinner at his mother's, just like you, except he does not make her wait while he finishes the level.
Scene. Find the loner.
I brought the wolf out and asked it to be a proud loner on camera. The wolf listened, nodded, and ran off, to its own, across the field, never once looking back at me or my script. A proud loner saw its family and chose family in half a second, faster than you cancel plans the second someone says food. I took down the independent needs no one sign myself. It was not the wolf that ran from me. It was the myth. And I am the one left holding the sign.
Verdict.
Solitude, 3 out of 10. And those 3 for the thief, not the attitude. The loner legend was written by people who never ran a pack. Acquitted. Return the shirt. Next, the one your class wrote off as dumb.
Cow.
The dossier. The poster child for stupid. Wrong again. A cow has best friends, and kept apart from them, it gets stressed and gives less milk. More attached than your last relationship. It remembers anyone who treated it rough and tears people apart by face. And it is half a ton that, packed into a tight pen, pins you to the wall with zero malice, just by stepping over. Not dumb, just bigger than you and holding a quiet personal grudge.
Scene. Over the moon.
A nursery rhyme swore the cow would jump over the moon. No moon in the studio, but there is my table. Let us check. A run-up, and half a ton on 4 hooves is standing exactly where my script lay 30 seconds ago. The rhyme was not lying. Whoever called cows clumsy was. The table flunked the test, and the script under it flunked with it. That same half-ton in a tight barn you call gentle, right up until it leans on the gate with you behind it.
Verdict.
Mass, 5 out of 10. No wish to kill you, but half a ton of grudge in a tight pen asks no permission. Her list holds everyone who called her dumb. Roughly, you. And now, a recess. An appeal.
Segment The Appeal.
Last episode, the cat earned its honest 10 out of 10 for audacity. A complaint came in. Whiskers is no menace. You are biased. We demand the sentence be reviewed. Signed, Counsel for the Cat. I reviewed the case materials. Dear counsel, your client shoved my mug off the table while looking me dead in the eye. That is not bias, that is on tape. Review denied. Keep the fee. Buy your client kibu and a conscience. Keep them coming. I love it when a lawyer in a suit shows up for a cat. Back to the case files. Sheep. Opening the case. The synonym for a brainless herd. And again, slander. A sheep tells apart around 50 faces, sheep and human, and holds them for a couple of years. It knows you from a photo, which half your coworkers could not manage. It makes best friends, and a bad shepherd gets it down. Yes, it follows the flock, not because it is dumb, but because outside the flock it gets eaten. Not brainless. Just prices risk more soberly than you. And did not sign a lifetime contract with a bad leader, unlike you.
Scene, the reason test.
I switched on the red dot, the very one that embarrasses cats. A smart sheep, 50 faces in memory, saw the dot, and it went. After the dot, in a circle, confidently, like it was following a leader with a mandate. 50 faces it can halt, but that the dot is just me and a cheap laser, that it could not crack. Which is exactly how your feed walks you around the same circle while your thumb keeps voting for one more lap. The brains are in there, the herd instinct is louder.
Verdict. Reason 4 out of 10.
No danger to you at all, except its own gullibility. And yours. 50 faces in memory, total faith in the fairest red dot. Sound familiar? Next, the one digging up your lawn.
BOAR. The dossier.
While you sleep, it runs a land reform on your garden. No permits filed. Omnivorous, clever, and it remembers where the food was good, so it comes back with the whole family for seconds. The tasks rip. It hits 25 miles an hour. In a straight line it outruns you and catches you, and cornered, it opens up a dog and a hunter in one pass. In one night, it tills your yard so hard the neighbor blames a tractor. A contractor nobody hired. And the bill, as always, you pay. With your budget or your body.
Scene, the tasting.
I sent the intern to set a garden glove down for the boar, to see if it would touch the prop. It touched it. It did not inspect the glove, it ate it, flower bed and all, while the intern jumped back to a personal best height and kept every finger. Lucky today. Choose my glove like a critic who was not impressed but will take seconds regardless. The prop was entered on the menu without my consent. No glove, no flower bed, and the intern nearly went on the same menu.
Verdict.
Battering ram, 7 out of 10. Clever, fast, tasked, unrepentant. It digested the evidence in the courtroom. And you go strolling into its woods for mushrooms, rustling a bag. Next. The muscle tourist's mistake for a mellow cow.
BISON.
Opening the case. Huge, shaggy, looks like a couch on hooves. Every year, tourists walk up close for a photo and learn the truth at point-blank range. This couch weighs a ton and hits 35 miles an hour. It jumps higher than you are tall, turns faster than you can say "excuse me", and tosses a grown man on its horse like a throw pillow. In the parks, it puts more people in the ER than the bears do. The bears just got scarier PR. Not a gentle giant. Just has not decided yet that you are getting too close.
Scene.
Completely safe. I promised it up top. Studio under control. Intern briefed, waiver signed. Meet the absolutely guaranteed tame bison. Intern, stepping closer for scale. Closer. Do not touch the horn. The intern reached for the horns. The bison swung its head, and half a ton launched him in a gorgeous arc, little stars trailing behind. Noted for the record. Horns work. Confirmed. Posthumously. The bison loses no points. It honestly stood there like a couch. The intern is the one who poked into its business. We will get a new one by the finale. There is plenty. We strike safe from the script.
Verdict.
Bulldozer, 8 out of 10. Killer of the episode, a ton at 35, and you woke up for a selfie yourself. You called it mellow. It never signed that. One left, the one who lost to evolution.
MAMMOTH. The dossier.
The only defendant I summoned posthumously, and the loudest one by legend. 10 feet at the shoulder, tusks longer than your car, a coat any billionaire would envy. King of the Ice Age, gone about 4,000 years ago. The climate shifted, and it would not shift a single habit, so it ended up in a textbook. The last ones held out on an island, in total isolation. The most hyped threat on the planet, and precisely zero danger to you. To fear something that no longer exists, you have to try hard. You do try, though. You have been scared of the wrong thing this whole time. Final scene. I asked the mammoth to show that famous legendary might. The mammoth gazes into the distance, majestically. It does not move. At all. Because it went extinct several thousand years ago, and no longer responds to requests. Like your boss to the email about your raise. There it is. Might in its purest form. Loud, huge, and completely harmless. The calmest guest of the episode. They always scare you with the biggest and the deadest. What actually gets you is small and alive. Verdict of the Kindest Channel. Legend. Loudest marquee. Emptiest price tag. Nothing to threaten you with in 4,000 years. A legend. But no one left to bill. The list closes. One name left. The one it is missing. And with that, the wild shift is closed. 7 legends, -1 intern, 0 mercy. Almost. The raven is smarter than you. The wolf is more family than you. The mammoth is the loudest and the deadest. But the most dangerous animal of this shift never once took the stand. It is sitting in front of the screen, terrified of the raven it calls a bad omen, and of a mammoth that has been dead 4,000 years. Yet it strolls up to the bison for a selfie. The only defendant I have no dossier on. Because he opens one on everybody else and quietly crosses himself off the threat list first. Wrong move. We will get a new intern. There is plenty. Next time, the predators you keep at home and call by cute little names. Now the button. Subscribing will not gore you and will not run you over. The one thing here you do not have to fear. Subscribe or stand there nobly, stay silent proudly, and wait for your textbook. The Kindest Channel rests its case.